Hi guys, thanks for joining today's session. So guys, till last class we have seen application of personalization string in our marketing cloud. We have come so far, we have built lists, we have built data extensions, we have understood what are the subscriber properties in marketing cloud. Apart from that, we have understood more details around how the subscribers status changes with further interaction. We understood what are the compliance required to send commercial emails and transaction emails in the form of can span law. We have also seen what are the things required to send emails like sender profile, delivery profile, send classification. And after covering all those basics, we finally went and created this batch 5 invoice. We started with the project in which we have to dynamically populate the transactional data on the invoice. This invoice we built in which we had three requirements. The first requirement was to populate the basic profile data of a customer. That means first name, last name, email address, and subscriber key. That you have to populate. The second requirement was to populate his transactional data, that is product purchased, bill amount, and quantity. This data is stored in our data extension, which is a different data extension than the sendable data extension. We understood that in sendable data extensions, we have to only keep those data which are required to be utilized in email sends. We understood profile and behavioral data are two kind of data. So profile data can be sendable, behavioral data can't be sendable because it does not contain any channel address to communicate. Like product purchased, bill amount, quantity, you can have this as a transaction behavior stored about a subscriber, but you cannot send email to quantity, bill amount, or product purchased. So similarly, this data also we have to populate on our invoice. And the third requirement was to populate more details around the product which a subscriber has purchased. What is the color of the product? What is the size of the product? What is the image of the product? What is the color of the product? What is the size of the product? What is image of the product? These three data we have to populate from three different data extensions we have built in our data model. First requirement we successfully accomplished, populating first name, last name, email address, and subscriber key from our sendable data extension. The data extension which we are going to directly send is known as sendable data extension. We understood that basics use of personalization string, this, you can retrieve the data from sendable data extension. What is a sendable data extension? To which you are going to send emails, it is marked as used for sending. So these all data you can retrieve easily with the help of personalization string. So we populated email address, sub key, phone number, first name, last name. You see, all these are the attributes of sendable data extension. We also have to populate product purchased, bill amount, quantity, color, size, image, which are not the attribute of sendable data extension. And we understood that these all details can't be fetched from related data extensions using personalization strings. Personalization string only fetch data from a sendable data extension, only one data extension. In order to test how this email will look to a specific subscriber when it is delivered in the inbox, we understood about a functionality which is preview and test. You can easily preview a subscriber from a data extension or a list to see if this dynamic email is received by that subscriber, how it will look inside his inbox. That you can do easily generating a preview of a subscriber for this email. To generate the preview of a subscriber, we have to click this envelope option and we have to select the list or data extension to which we are going to send communication so that we can easily preview any subscriber to check the performance of the email inside his inbox. We have created our folder batch 5. Inside batch 5 data extension, we have B5 subscriber profile. Once we have created B5 subscriber profile, once we selected that data extension, you see all the records are available for us to preview. Select any record if you want to see how this 601 subscriber key will see the details. You preview that subscriber, all these data will be previewed. You see subscriber key, email address, phone number, first name, last name got populated. But you cannot do the same with product, bill, quantity, color, size, image, because these are not the sendable data extensions. Personalization string don't work with sendable data extensions or related data extensions. And we have to fetch these as well on our email. And today we are going to see how to accomplish this. Today, the main part which we have to focus is on AMPscript, the basics of AMPscript. Why? Because personalization strings has a limitation as a hard stop. It cannot go beyond this this sendable data extensions. All these data are available in non-sendable related behavioral data extensions. For that, we have to use AMPscript. So AMPscript, you should understand prior how to write a basic code in any language. Then you will be able to get how to work with AMPscript. So this is the code snippet block in which you have to declare the AMPscript. This code snippet block is used to write AMPscript code snippets. AMPscript will help us to interact with related non-sendable data extensions, will help us to retrieve the records. Now guys, AMPscript has a basic syntax. Whatever we have to write inside the AMPscript, we have to write inside an AMPscript block. AMPscript block is a block which contains AMPscript logic. To declare an AMPscript block, you have to write %% open square bracket, close square bracket, and %%. Inside this block, you have to write AMPscript. This block is never printed on the email. This block is only used to write logics. You click on done editing. Inside the email, you might be seeing this block, right? But if you click on next and preview, the block will be vanished. How it will be vanished? You have to preview a subscriber. You have to preview a subscriber. Select any subscriber you want to preview. Click on select option. The block is vanished. So guys, nothing is printed. Whatever you write inside block is never printed on the email. But AMPscript block would help us to write AMPscript logics. What AMPscript logic we have to write that is clear to us to retrieve all these data from non-sendable data extensions. But guys, before we go and retrieve data from non-sendable data extensions, AMPscript also provides a way to retrieve data from sendable data extensions as well. That means the data you have fetched using personalization strings can also be fetched using AMPscript. The first name, last name you fetched via personalization strings can also be fetched using AMPscript. On top of it, AMPscript will also helpful to fetch data from non-sendable data extensions for product bill, quantity, color, size, image, which are non-sendable part. So now guys, in order to work with AMPscript, you have to declare a variable. A variable is nothing but an entity which holds a value. We want to hold a value of email address, subscriber key, phone number, so that we can print that value on the email. For that, we have to declare a variable inside the AMPscript with the syntax where at the rate. Where at the rate is the syntax of declaring a variable. So we want to hold the value of email address from the sendable data extension. Declare any variable with name email, where at the rate email. That means email is a variable you have declared, and this email we have declared to hold a value of email address. So after you have declared a variable, you have to set the value of variable. Set at the rate email equal to what is the value you want to set. You can directly set the value of an attribute you want to fetch from the sendable data extension. So you want to set the value of email to email address. You want to set the value of email to email address. So this way you can directly declare a variable to hold a value, and this way you can set the value of a variable. The value of variable email is email address attribute from the sendable data extension. Email address attribute we have in the sendable data extension, that value we have set to this email. Now if you go and again click on preview option, you see nothing is printed. Nothing on this email is printed, because I told you whatever you write inside the AMPscript block is not printed. Then what is the use of AMPscript block? We have declared a variable, we have set the value of variable. What is the use? AMPscript block is used to write logics. To print any value, you have to print outside AMPscript block. That means we have set the value of variable email to email address attribute of a data extension. We have set the value of email variable to a value of attribute whose name is email address in the data extension. We want to print what value got stored in the variable. We want to print what value got stored in the variable. So the value you have to print using a function called v function. V function syntax is %% equal to v equal to %%. This is a v function syntax in order to print any value inside the email. Any value of a variable which you have declared inside the email block, that you can print the value of that variable using this v function. Inside this v function, you have to provide the name of the variable which you want to print. So we have declared a variable email, then we have set the value of variable email to email address, and we want to print it. So we have used a v function to print the value of variable, and inside that we have passed @email. Click on next option, and you see that the value of email is printed. The value of email is printed. So guys, nothing is printed inside AMPscript block. Whatever you want to print, you can print outside AMPscript block. Now guys, what is the difference between AMPscript and personalization strings? These are the personalization strings. You can easily use %, email address, %, preview or data extension you will get. And we have written 4 lines of logic to print the same value using AMPscript. What is the difference? The main difference is personalization string is not holding a value. It is just retrieving and displaying the value inside the email. The value is directly retrieved from the data extension. The personalization strings are just retrieving the value and displaying on the email. That's all. They are not holding a value in their hand. However, AMPscript, we have declared a variable and we have set that variable to hold a value of email address attribute. This value is being held within this variable, email variable. As this is held in email variable, you can reutilize it at other places. Like we have printed the value of variable. So guys, the value of email address attribute is locally held inside the email variable. On the other hand, whatever value you have printed on printed via AMPscript is not locally held. It is just displayed. So guys, the same way, instead of using % email address here, what we can do, % equal to v equal to %, and pass @email to print the value from here to there. From here, we have printed the value of that email variable. We can replace that personalization string with AMPscript variable, and you see there is no difference. You see there is no difference. The value is still printed. The value is printed. Similarly, guys, you can replace all these personalization strings with AMPscript variables. So the second thing is @sub_key. The third thing is @phone. The fourth thing is @first name. The fifth thing is @last name. For each personalization string which we already declared, we are declaring AMPscript variables. And slowly, we are setting the value of sub key to sub key. All these are the name of attributes from your data extension. Set @phone equal to phone number. Set @first name equal to first name. Set @last name equal to last name. We have declared the variables. We have set the values of those variables. Why we are doing? So that values are stored locally. Inside AMPscript, the values are stored inside a variable. But in personalization strings, they are not stored locally. They are referenced. And guys, as we have declared all these variables, we can declare v function. V function like % equal to v equal to %. Inside this, we will pass the variable which we have already declared. @subkey @phone. For first name, last name, you can declare equal to v first name. For last name, you can declare So now guys, what we have done, we have declared the variables, set the value of variables, and we are printing the value of variables inside the email. We have totally replaced the personalization strings. You see, all values are printed from a different method which we have just adopted. Earlier we used personalization string. Now we have used AMPscript to print all those values. Why we have done this? To understand what is the basics of AMPscript, what is AMPscript block, how to declare variables, and how to set variables. In the due course, we have seen that personalization string do not hold a value locally, but AMPscript holds a value locally. Now, what is the benefit of holding a value locally? Why we are taking so much effort? Just we can use percent and do personalization string to reference a value. Why we want to hold a value locally? Because you want to work with these related data extensions and the related attributes: product, bill, quantity, color, size, image. You want to interact with these two data extensions holding these values and retrieve the value. That is why we are holding those variable data locally. Let's open the data extension and understand in detail. If we open the data extensions are into relationship with each other. So if you hold a one value, if you hold a value of from one data extension, you can easily retrieve the value of the related attributes from other data extensions. Let's try to understand with an example. We have data extensions here. This is the data extension folder. Here also we will open data extension. So guys, this is the subscriber profile data extension. We understood how to retrieve data using personalization string and how to retrieve data using AMPscript for the sendable data extensions. All those attributes we have retrieved were the attributes of sendable data extensions. We understood two methods. One, to retrieve data using personalization string. Personalization string will definitely help you to retrieve the data. The other way we have used is AMPscript to retrieve the data from the sendable data extension. We are easily able to retrieve. But guys, you see the related data extension. You see other data extension, which is subscriber purchase data extension. This is the subscriber purchase data extension. In this purchase data extension, you have product purchased, quantity, and bill. These data extensions are non-sendable. Personalization strings can't be used. We have to go with AMPscript. So now how you will use AMPscript to retrieve these data: product purchased, quantity, and bill. You see this data extension, purchase data extension, and this data extension, profile data extension, is having something common. We understood this common property while we were building this data extension. If you remember, the common property is the subscriber key. Both data extensions are having same set of subscriber key. Both data extensions are having same set of subscriber keys. So the email address, phone number, age, gender, country, first name, last name is a data of subscriber. And for the same subscriber, we have product purchase, bill, and quantity stored in other data extension. For this subscriber 556, we have email address, phone, age, gender, country, first name, last name stored in subscriber profile data extension. And for the same subscribers, we have stored product purchase quantity and bill in other data extension. That means both data extensions are holding data of common subscribers. That means they are into relation with each other. So if you know subscriber key, you can retrieve what are the related attributes of that subscriber key. If you know that subscriber key, you can look up the value of product purchase quantity and bill, because these three attributes are related to that subscriber key, no matter they are present in other data extension. But these are related to the same subscriber key. And how to know a subscriber key? That we have already stored inside a variable. We are holding a value of subscriber key in a variable, which we can use to look up the value of product quantity and bill from other data extension for same subscriber key. Earlier in personalization strings, the value was referenced. The value was not locally present. So you cannot reuse that value. If you use only percent first name, percent a personalization string, the value will be retrieved from data extension and referenced in the email. Email is not storing, is not holding a value in its hand. You have to hold a value. You want to search something, there is a dark room, you should be having a torch in your hand. Until and unless you don't hold a torch, you cannot go and look up a value. So AMPscript variables are like torch. You can easily look up anything if you hold a value. So we are holding a value of subscriber key from the sendable data extensions. We know that for the same subscriber key, we have product purchase quantity and bill amount stored in related data extension. So if you know the subscriber key, you can easily look up the value of product purchase quantity and bill from other data extensions. So we already know here subscriber key, the value is already being held. Now with this subscriber key you have in your hand, you will go to this data extension and look up the value of product purchase quantity and bill. How? You have to again declare variables @product, @quantity, @bill. Three more variables you declare, but these three variables can't be set like we have set earlier variables, like set @product equal to, if you copy this product purchased, it can't be set like this. It can't be set like this. You see this error you will get. Product purchased is not the part of this data extension which you have previewed. This method of storing the value of an attribute in a variable is only available for sendable data extensions. All these attributes are the part of sendable data extensions. We have easily set the value just giving the name of those variables. But when it is coming to a point where you have to set a value from a non-sendable data extension, you cannot easily just write name of that attribute. What you have to do, you have to look up the attribute from other data extensions with a clue in your hand. That clue is subscriber key. You already know for which subscriber you want to retrieve product bill and quantity, because that subscriber you have already stored in a variable. So now guys, to look up the value of product from other related data extension, we can't use just name, we have to use lookup function. So @product equal to lookup, and this is the syntax of lookup function. @product equal to lookup, and this is the syntax of lookup function. Inside lookup function, you have to tell system where it has to go and look up the value of product. Inside the lookup function, you have to tell the system where it has to go and look up the value of product. The value of product is stored inside this B5 subscriber purchase data extension. You have to tell system is a dumb guy. You have to give commands. Go and look up to that data extension, you will find product value. So once you declared a lookup function, you are telling system, go and look up this data extension, you will find product value. So system understood it has to go and look up to this data extension. It went to this data extension, subscriber purchase, and system saw subscriber key is there, product purchased is there, quantity is there, bill is there. System is a dumb guy. Even by reading name, it cannot understand that product purchase is containing a product, because system only understands Boolean value 0 and 1. It is not human. It doesn't know English, Hindi, math. Right? It cannot analyze or anticipate on its own just by reading. It is a dumb guy. So system came to this data extension as you provided command that go to this data extension, you will get the value of a product. It came here definitely, but got confused between 4 different columns. And it again asked you, I came to this data extension, which column you want to retrieve? I am finding 4 columns. I am unable to understand which is containing product details. Then you tell when you go to this data extension, there is a column called product purchased. You will find product value in that column. Then you again provided another command within the lookup function. While you go to this data extension, check product purchased column. So now system got some more clue. It went to this data extension to look up the value of product. It found 4 different columns. You provided a command to system that product is purchased in product purchased data extension. System came here to product purchased. System got happy that it can find products now. But the same moment it got confused, because it can find a lot of products here, jeans, t-shirt, not all products it has to retrieve. System confused and again reverted you, which product you want me to retrieve? I am finding jeans, t-shirt, laptop, bag, shoes, jacket, 5 to 6 different categories of product. Which product you want me to retrieve? Then you tell system that I will give you a subscriber key. I will give you a subscriber key against which you have to retrieve a product value. Because for a particular subscriber, you want to retrieve a value. So you have to tell system that you are going to supply a subscriber key for which it has to retrieve a value. System got okay, give me that subscriber key. So you told system that you have subscriber key. You have subscriber key this for which you want to retrieve a value. Now system came here to this data extension, then it found product purchased by your second command. It found a lot of product. You are telling you have a subscriber key for which you have to retrieve the value. System is asking, okay, give me subscriber key. What is that subscriber key? The subscriber key, guys, you have stored here in this variable @sub key, which you have already printed using v function. So guys, subscriber key is already being held inside a variable that we are passing in the lookup function. Why we are using subscriber key like this? Because personalization strings won't help us to store data locally. Personalization strings will not store the data locally. Subscriber keys, if you want to store locally so that you can reference that value at other places, you have to hold a torch to go inside a dark room. You should be having a clue in your hand. Personalization string will not give you anything in your hand. AMPscript will give you variables which you can hold in your hand. That is why subscriber key is being held inside a variable that we have passed. So system will go to this data extension, will find 4 different columns. You again give him a hint. The product purchased is the column from where you have to retrieve the product data. System went to product purchased, it found a lot of products. It again got confused which product it has to retrieve. You tell that you have a subscriber key for which you have to retrieve the product. System got happy and asked, what is the subscriber key? And this is the subscriber key. The subscriber key value is getting retrieved from the sendable data extensions, is getting stored in a variable, and then that subscriber key value is getting passed inside the lookup function. Now, as you have looked up this set at the product and everything, you go and click on next option. You go and click on next option. You will find that nothing is printed. Why? Because whatever we perform inside AMPscript block is not shown to outer world. Whatever we perform in AMPscript block is not shown to outer world. In order to show to outer world, we have to use v function. You already know. And inside v function, we have to pass the name of the variable which you want to display. We have already set the value of this product. We are displaying the value of product like this, clicking on next. Now you will see that the subscriber B563 has purchased jeans. The subscriber all the subscribers have purchased jeans. But if you change the subscriber, many subscribers have purchased a common product. Let me select any other subscriber from preview and see if the values are changing or not for that subscriber. We have batch 5 data extension. If we select first subscriber that has purchased jeans, second subscriber 557 has purchased t-shirt, third subscriber 558 has purchased laptop, 559 subscriber has purchased bag. You want to validate, copy this, go to this data extension. See, this subscriber has purchased bag. You want to change the subscriber key. This subscriber key has purchased laptop, which is displayed on the email. So guys, as you are able to get the data of product purchased, similarly, you can get the data of quantity and bill. Similarly, you can get the data of quantity and bill using lookup function. Where to look up? Provide the name of the data extension where system has to go and look up the value. This is the name of the data extension where it has to go and look up the value. System went to this data extension, got a lot of attributes and got confused, which is containing quantity. You tell there is an attribute called quantity from where you have to retrieve the quantity value. Then system went to quantity and found a lot of quantities. For which quantity it has, for which quantity value it has to retrieve. You tell system you have a subscriber key for which you have to retrieve the quantity value. You tell system you have a subscriber key for which you have to retrieve the quantity value. The subscriber key, system asked, okay, nice. What is the subscriber key? Subscriber key you have already stored inside the variable. Subscriber key you have already stored inside the variable. Pass that variable. You have passed this variable. Similarly, you can print equal to v equal to percent at the rate quantity value. Whatever quantity that subscriber has purchased for that product, that will be retrieved. So laptop quantity 4. That means this subscriber purchased 4 laptops. Laptop quantity 4. You change the value. This per subscriber purchased t-shirt quantity 2. Subscriber purchased t-shirt quantity 2. So guys, this is how you will interact with related data extensions. The third thing is we have to set value of bill as well. Set at the rate bill equal to, use the same lookup format, just change the column which you want to retrieve. Percent equal to v equal to percent right at the rate bill. Now guys, this AMPscript function will retrieve bill as well. T-shirt quantity 2, total bill acquired is $56.98. T-shirt quantity 2, total bill is $56.98. So guys, this is how we have retrieved the data from other data extensions. Instead of printing these values here, you can print the values at appropriate positions. Product percent equal to at the rate product, you can pass here. Bill, you can write percent equal to v. You can write at the rate bill here. Quantity percent equal to v. You can define quantity here. Now guys, you see slowly we are able to structure our data. T-shirt, product, bill, quantity, we are able to easily get and store. Tomorrow we will see how to get color, size and image. If you can practice it today at your home, it would be good.